are these people?
Extinction Rebellion, who Reef has been talking about for a very long time, that performs fantastic direct action everywhere around the world. So Extinction Rebellion New York did a protest and shut down New York City street. Okay, and no wars, no warming. Organizers plan the event to demand that our tax money stop fossil fueling endless war and start funding healthcare, green jobs and infrastructure, other climate adaptation measures, and housing. Outstanding. Again, love these guys. Members of Extinction Rebellion. That was on April 15th, Tax Day. They perched on top of, locked themselves on two 15-foot tripods installed near the Charging Bull sculpture. 9 activists were arrested.
Okay.
So again, just awesome. And then you've got some of the tweets. Let me bring that down a little bit. Yeah, around the Wall Street area around the Wall Street Bull, currently taken by Extinction Rebellion and friends. That's freaking great.
To beat them, we'll have to make our own tripod.
Crabs in the chat. Legs. What's up, dude? So again, let's so Emma Jacobs, this is said in a statement Monday, our tax money should be funding a mass mobilization off fossil fuels, supporting the communities most impacted by the climate crisis and addressing the mitigation and adaptation measures. Yes, I know, all you MMT people. Yeah, I know. Taxes don't fund spending. Yeah, we know. Okay? Bottom line is that our priority should not be to fund a mass mobilization. It's not about our tax money, our money. Okay? Take out the word tax, guys, and we're saying the same thing. All right? Let's just, enough. Not tonight. Fossil fuel use is a direct cause of the climate crisis, yet still the Biden administration continues to gaslight us and call himself the climate president, all while perpetuating environmental destruction. Hell yeah, Emma.
Yep.
And this is a cool Emma. I don't know too many cool Emmas. I guess Emma Stone, she's pretty badass. Mm-hmm. Again, we cannot be reliant on the fossil fuel economy and have military defense industry, which is one of the highest emitters in the world. Reliance on fossil fuels propagates wars and forces relationships with governments who control the fossil fuel supply. Plus, U.S. military produces more carbon dioxide than countries including Denmark, Sweden, and Portugal. Yeah, we knew that. Thank you, Abby Martin, for doing her amazing piece on the U.S. military and the amount of pollutants that they do.
Yep.
Noting that since 2001 alone, our military has emitted nearly 1.2 billion metric tons, 1.2 billion metric tons of greenhouse gases, Jacobs argued. Okay, this is unsustainable for our country and our planet, one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Our hard-earned tax dollars should be spent avoiding catastrophic climate change, lifting up the least advantaged, and creating opportunities in a more peaceful, environmentally stable society. Emma for president, because she'd do a whole lot better than Sleepy Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so New York City campaign follows recent global uprising of scientists affiliated with the group. Okay, we know about that. We covered that last week or 2 weeks ago, which also came after the latest IPCC report. They did some Earth Day protests. It was, the IPCC report was just dismal, and the government's actually encouraged these guys to water it down because it was so bad. So what we got was even a watered down version of that. So recognizing that no one societal branch is responsible for the failures of our leaders to act, of course. Okay, so they have demands directed at government, financial institutions, and media. There's only one that I find is still missing, which is private corporations that are huge pollutants also. But I'm sure that Extinction Rebellion certainly has their eyes on the ball. They aren't alone calling for taking tax dollars from the U.S. war machine and instead investing. Again, there you go, MMT. Other involved, including 350, not a huge fan of 350, but Code Pink, big fan. Okay, Peace Action New York State, Resistance Brooklyn, the Roses and Bread, iffy, Veterans for Peace, like those guys, World Can't Wait. Okay. So again, it's a mixed bag as far as the groups that are involved, but I guess, you want a big coalition of people. Bones, we got Bones in the chat. Additionally, the
ones.
National Priorities Project at the Institute for Policy Studies on Friday released a breakdown of how much the average taxpayer paid toward various government expenses last year. And the average taxpayer paid almost $1,000 for Pentagon contractors, compared with just $171 for K through 12 education. I love these kind of charts. Look at that. 7 cents toward international affairs and 3.8 cents toward food agriculture. I love these. Okay, but a lot of your tax dollars go toward health, unemployment, labor, military, right there. 15.3 cents of every tax dollar go toward the military. Again, taxes don't fund spending. Yeah, we know. Okay, we are investing too much in the military and law enforcement and not enough on prevention, people, and communities. And that is the crux of this. All right.
Well, they may not fund spending, but they do fund something, which, you should know where that funding is going.
Right?
Mainly the military, but...
Yep, that's pretty much. Military and then the intelligence community on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Extinction Rebellion. But not only that, we actually had our friend of the show, friend of the network, Ford Fischer, actually had live coverage. He did a 10-minute video, a 10-minute hit summary of the protests and of the action on Odyssey. So I encourage you, again, news to share on Odyssey. This will be in the notes, and I'll drop this live into the chat right now, so everybody has a copy of it. And you can bookmark it for later and go check that out, because it was pretty badass. Again, New York 6-year hold We Will Not Be Bystanders March. There you go. There's the original 1080p. Nice. There we go. Nice and clear. We can even full screen that bad boy.
Yeah, except it's not working because you're only cutting off.
Yeah, I know. I cut off a portion of it. That's all right. But there you go. Again, shout out to Ford Fischer. Shout out to News to Share. Just got married recently. I think he had a birthday recently. Again, friend of the show. Fan of News to Share. Support independent media. He's affiliated somehow with Matt Taibbi and TK News. Here's them doing I think this might be Emma, actually.
I don't hear it.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I do. That's weird. All right, well then I'll pause it. Okay.
You probably have it to me and not to guest.
No, I have it to guest and to me turned on, but that's okay. Anyway, again, I just wanted to shout out that Matt Taibbi, that Ford Fischer was there, News to Share. I don't know if it was Ford or his partner. Okay, but then, yeah, of course, you had all the not so fun people over on Odyssey that commented. But I also wanted to shout out not just Extinction Rebellion in New York City, but Extinction Rebellion UK. That's the leader of the whole thing. And Emma Smart, another badass based Emma, she's on a hunger strike after being refused bail. And I wanted to give this a shout out. This also came out on Earth Day. Okay, she got arrested for raising the alarm. Went on a hunger strike after being denied bail. Was detained during a protest with 24 students at the UK's government's Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. Instead of being released, she's being held at Charing Cross waiting for a court hearing. Why? She's been charged with criminal damage after pasting scientific papers to the government building and gluing themselves to the glass frontage. Orale. I see a shadow banned refugee showing up in Rockfin chat. Good to see you, brother. Shouted you out before, too. Their protests, again, with Extinction Rebellion, formed part of the April Rebellion, which is calling for an end to all new fossil fuel investments immediately. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
All right. Emma was also one of the Highway 9 who spent time in prison over Christmas for breaking an injunction with insolent Britain. She said during a trial last year, this court may see me as being on the wrong side of the law, but in my heart, I know I'm on the right side of history. I will not be a bystander. Okay, she's awesome. Her husband said, what kind of world do we live in when scientists are forced to put themselves in positions of arrest and hunger strike to be heard? And why is she not being released? This was a minor crime with no disruption to the public. Come on, I have to do it in a British voice because they're British.
Is that what that was?
That was really bad one, but yes. Her treatment is disproportionate to her crime. I will at least admit that it's a bad one. Human Love Solidarity, welcome to the chat also. Thanks for being here tonight. But yes, our politicians are aware of the severity of climate emergency. Every decision should be informed by science, not coerced for profit and greed. Emma knows what's at stake if we don't stop fossil fuel investments, and she's taking a stand for her niece's future and all those around the world suffering now from this crisis. Everyone must stand with her now and come out the streets to show the government that change is coming whether they like it or not. 100%. So, really good stuff. Awful that she has to do that. Here's what their key demands are. Must tell the truth by declaring a climate and ecological emergency, working with other institutions to communicate the urgency for change. Government must now act to halt biodiversity loss and reduce greenhouse gas emissions to net zero by 2025. And government must create and be led by the decisions of a citizens' assembly on climate and ecological justice. Yeah, I can see our leaders ceding power to a citizens' assembly. Sure. I love the idea.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And that's actually what they're looking for, not just I think it's mostly in the UK, but again, it's Extinction Rebellion. They're global, so they want to see this worldwide.